Hey everyone, I want to encourage each and every one of you watching that are in a season of God again. This is happening again. I'm going through this again. There's another test and trial again. I lost another loved one again. I am tired of going through this again. To know that you are equipped for this again, that you are gaining strength, you are gaining wisdom, you are gaining more knowledge again. And you may feel as if I'm tired of doing this, but hold on to what God has promised you, that you are getting stronger and you are getting wiser each time, each day, each test and trial that you go through. You are getting stronger even when you don't understand sometimes. Sometimes we don't understand God. Hannah did not understand God when she didn't have a child. Sarah didn't understand how she could have a child. Sometimes we don't understand how we can be healed from something, how things can change. But I want to encourage you all today that you're equipped for this, that you will get through. Story I just want to be able to relate to in the Bible is Joshua 6, the walls of Jericho. The Israelites had to listen to Joshua to get to their promise. They had to go around the walls a certain amount of times in order to get to the promise that God had for them. We have to go through things, maybe not a certain amount of times as the Israelites, but some things we have to go through again. We have to experience again for God to be able to show us ourselves, and also for God to be able to gain we're also to be able to gain strength and to be able to endure for the promise that he has for us. So I just want to encourage you all that even when you question God again, to know that yes, you are equipped, sis. Yes, you are equipped, brother. Yes, you are equipped, mother and father. You are equipped for what you're going through. And even when you feel as if this grieving never ends, it does not end. You are getting stronger and you are getting wiser. That this breakup, I feel as if that my world is over, that you will live and you shall not die, that God will give you a future spouse someday, and you will look back and to say, I had to go through that to know what it was like, to know that how I shouldn't have been treated. The Israelites had to go through walking around the walls of Jericho to know that I've come this far, so that if I've come this far of walking around the walls 6 times, of blowing this instrument this loud, of God allowing the walls to fall for me to see my promise, that I know that if I've been through that, I know that I can overcome this. So when the walls fell down, they were able to see the promise that God has for them. And the thing that I like is that God prepared them for the promise. They had to go through some things in order to get to what God had for them. Sometimes we have to go through some things in order to get to the promise that God has for us. We have to endure during heartbreaks. We have to endure a breakup. We have to endure a loss. We have to endure a financial crisis. We have to endure a loss of employment. We have to endure a mental illness, a physical illness, for us to be able to understand what we're going through, for us to be able to understand that there's a promise, to be able to understand that this isn't life, that we will get through, that we are overcomers, and that we will see the promise that God has for us. The Israelites saw the promise that God has for them, but they had to be prepared prior to receiving the promise. Sometimes we're asking God for something, maybe a future family, maybe a career, maybe guidance in a ministry, whatever God has called us to do. We have to understand that he's preparing us prior to getting that. He's preparing us prior to having that child. He's preparing us prior to having that future spouse. So sometimes we feel as if I'm going to be single forever. I'm never going to have a child. That is a lie, because God has promises for us according to his will, according to his way, according to his thoughts, because they're not our thoughts. They're not the thoughts that we have. So we must believe in what God has promised us. And we must know that we're going to get through. We're going to get to that promise but we got to get prepared. We got to walk around those walls. We got to keep enduring whatever it is that you're going through. So I encourage you today to know that when you're questioning God again, God is saying, again, my sis, you're going to be able to get through. Again, my brother, you'll be able to get through. Again, my mother, again, my father, regardless of what you have lost in your life, you will get back everything that the enemy has taken, everything that the enemy has stole. So have hope. God has plans, a future for us. It's a good plan. It's a better plan than us. It's not a disaster, even when it looks like a disaster. Even when the walls came crumbling down and everything was destroyed in the promised land, it looked like a disaster, but God had a hope and a future. So God has a hope and a future for you. Be encouraged. Thanks for watching Motivational Monday with Jay.